Hello everyone, this is Honorable Sami Dennis. Welcome to another practicals from NSA practicals or NSA tutorials. Alright, so today we are going to set up an IV line. We've talked about the various types of lines. We've talked about how to set a trolley or a trail for IV cannulation. Alright, so the first step in setting up a line is to take a quick look at the patient's hands. Usually we start with the dorsum of the hand. Okay, that's the back of the hand, and you check for veins that are straight. As you can see, we have some few ones here. There's one here, there's another here, there's another here, but I prefer this side. There's a straight vein. There's usually a straight vein at the dorsum, closer to the thumb area. Okay, you can see it's very clear there. All right. So that is the vein I've decided to use. Now, the first thing to do is you should make sure the vein is straight. Then the second thing, the vein is long enough to accommodate the entire length of the cannula. Okay, I'm using a blue cannula, so it's moderately short. So this vein, the length will suffice. But if I were to use a green cannula, this vein will probably not be long enough for me. Okay, so the tutorial begins. The first thing is to tie up the hand with a tourniquet. Okay, the tying is done in such a way that it will be very easy to untie. If you do it this way, okay, as you can see, if you do it this way, untying it will be quite difficult, to take time. So the best approach is to tie it this way. Sorry. Okay, so tie it this way so that when untied, just pull this one out and you are done. Okay, so the tying is also very important. Okay, then after tying, you ask the client to squeeze or to make a fist of the hand. Okay, good. So as you can see, the veins are, or the vein is clearly visible. Now the next step is to clean with spirit. Okay, wow, it appears I have a lack of it, spirit. Okay, all right. So this is not an actual patient, so I'm not going to enter the vein, but I'll just demonstrate it to you. So you take out your cannula. I show you a video. Okay, you take out your cannula. Now the cannula has certain parts. You have a needle here. Okay, the needle goes through this rubber tubing. Okay, so your main goal is to leave this rubber tubing inside the person's vein. Okay, that is your goal. But then the rubber tubing cannot penetrate the skin, so you penetrate the skin with the help of the needle, like this. Now you should always look at the needle. The needle should have its bevel. That's the wedge pointed end of it. Okay, the bevel should always be facing up. Yeah. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, now the next step is to under good light source. Okay, you shouldn't do IV cannulation in darkness. Under good light source, under good light source, you start accessing the vein, okay, with the needle. So as you can see where I'm pointing the needle, you can see it's right on top of the vein. Okay, so you move downwards. Okay, you move just some few centimeters. You move some few centimeters with the needle inside the rubber tubing. Now the next step is to slightly pull the needle out. Okay, because you only want to leave the rubber tubing inside the vein, so you pull the needle out Now, if the cannula is in the vein, you expect blood to rush outside like this, and to have this chamber filled with blood or some amount of blood, if not fully filled. Now, once you get that, you pull the needle outside, and then you push your rubber tubing inside gradually. Okay, so you do it simultaneously. Whilst you pull your needle out, you'll be pushing your rubber tubing inside until the rubber tubing is completely inside and the needle is completely out. Now you take out your needle like this, and then you apply pressure here. Okay, you trace the edge of the rubber tubing and you apply pressure there so that blood doesn't rush out of the cannula. Now you should be careful when disposing of this needle. Okay, you should first place it at a very safe place, and then you take your water for injection. Okay, then you gently push. Okay, now if sorry for that. Immediately after securing, you have to remove the tourniquet. You have to remove the tourniquet immediately. The whole rubber tubing is inside the vein. Now the next step after removing the tourniquet is to flush the cannula. Okay, now ask the patient to release the fist like this, and to relax the hand a little bit. Now you gently push the water for injection through the cannula. Now while doing that, you ask the patient whether he's feeling any pain. Okay, as you push the water for injection through the cannula, you ask the patient for some feedback. Now, ideally the patient is not supposed to feel any pain with that. So if there is pain, you should investigate to find out what actually is wrong with it. Now, the second point to note is, whilst pushing the water for injection, you should note the surrounding area where the cannula is, whether there is swelling. Okay, there's swelling. It's usually called tissue. Yeah, almost a tissue. That's what the term they use for it. But the actual term is tissue infiltration. Okay, the fluid will infiltrate into the surrounding tissues instead of being in the vein. It will be inside the tissues. So you should look out for it. Immediately you see that, it means the vein the cannula is not inside the vein. So you should gently pull it out and then try again at a different location. All right. So this is a very quick tutorial on how to set up an IV cannula. We'll continue later. Goodbye.